want flawless makeup, and one of the first tips I can ever give you, and if there's anything you should take out of this video, is have a good skincare routine. Oftentimes you guys come to me and say, oh, I tried this foundation that you recommended, but it's not working on me as good as it's working on you. What the hell? My skin is like not made for this foundation. And then my first question is, do you have a skincare routine? And most often the response is no. So that being said, having a good skincare routine is one of the most important things. You need to take care of your skin before you add anything to it. If your skin type is dry, I do recommend you check out my skincare routine that's over here. I have all the products listed as well in that description box, so you can refer back to it, and I think it's quite detailed, and I think I explain a couple of things here and there on why I use XYZ product. So if you're dry skin like me, be sure to check out that video. If you're not, that's fine too. If you have a good skincare routine or you don't know what your skin type is, just first thing, feel your face, see what works for you. Do you get oily in the summer? Like how is your skin during the winter? Is your T-zone oily? Do you get dry patches? All that. Just ask yourself these questions. And if you have the chance to go by Sephora, I think they have a machine that helps you kind of see what your skin type is. So be sure to check that out. I am not completely sure on that. I'll put more information in the description box, but don't quote me on that. But I think it is an actual thing. So that being said, I have taking care of my skin, done my whole skincare routine, and I do have some moisturizer on my face right now and a little bit of lip balm. And the moisturizer I use is the BIODERMA Atoderm PP Balm. Really love this stuff. It really quenches the thirst when it comes to my skin because it gets really dry, and it leaves it really nice. Second thing, when it comes to flawless makeup, I feel like if you get your eye makeup done first, you have more chances of not messing up the rest of the face. A lot of times I see people do their foundation first and then the eye makeup, and then there's fallout, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, you just wasted so much time. Do your eyes first, in my opinion, after to each your own, but I find that when you do your eye makeup first, it helps the process, and if you have any fallout or anything like that, just easily dust it away. That being said, I am gonna do my brows off camera, and then I'm gonna come back to the eye. Everybody knows that before you apply anything on your eyes, you have to use primer, and here I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in Eden. Once you've done that, I find that when you apply some translucent setting powder, and here I'm using the one from Kat Von D, any translucent setting powder will do. If you don't want to use a translucent setting powder, I do also advise that you could use an eyeshadow that is the same color as your skin tone, and what that does is it sets the primer down so you're sure that it does not move. But most importantly, what it does is when you do go on to apply any eyeshadows on top of that, it's not going to be tugging at the primer, and also it's gonna blend way faster and easier. So just a little bit of setting powder, translucent setting powder to the lid, and then you're ready to apply whatever eyeshadow you want to your lids, and you'll see that it just blends in way better. So I'm not gonna do a full tutorial over here, but I just want to show you real quick. This is the MANNY MUA palette, and I'm just gonna go in with this color that's called Sora, and I'm just gonna blend that in, and like you can see, it's not tugging at anything, and it's just blending in seamlessly. So there you go, just blending in nicely. So moving on, Next tip has to do with foundation, and right now I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r foundation. I do have first impressions on this foundation, and I'll leave it over here, so feel free to check it out. And so when it comes to foundation, obviously put on primer before, but I find that the best way to apply a foundation is to put some on the back of your hand first, not a lot because you never know if you need more or less, and then is to dot it on your face. I find that when you dot foundation on your face, it gives you a better idea of how much you're gonna need, and you don't end up with too much. It's better to end up with little, with less than more, and then be like, oh my god, I can't go back. So I find that dotting it on your face is really helpful. And so I'm just gonna clear some of my face, and then I'm just gonna go in with a brush and just stipple. And I find that stippling your foundation in helps the foundation to heat up to your skin and blend better into your skin than if you like wiped it and then you have some like everywhere. So just stippling down is a good way to get that foundation all over, and also it just blends it into the skin more flawlessly. And you see, just by dotting that foundation all over my face, I did quite a good job. I can then add more if I want to, or leave it as is. And I'm just spreading the product all over and getting the most out of the foundation as well. So I have some on the back of my hand, and again, just dot that where you feel you need more. Don't forget the neck as well, and then just blend it in by stippling. That way I'm getting the most out of the foundation. And this works right into my next tip, is blending. You gotta blend, blend, blend if you want to have flawless looking skin. You don't have to get lazy on the blending process. I find it very important because, one, it helps the product really adhere to your skin, but also it doesn't look, you know, mapped out on your face and then it's just like, oh, ready to go. You want it to look like your skin. You don't want a demarcation between your skin and the foundation. You don't want people to say, oh look, she's wearing foundation, because it's that obvious and things are not blended properly. So I really like these types of brushes that are kind of like in a dome shape to blend foundation in, or the good old beauty blender. Mine is a bit nasty, but that too is a really good go-to. I love the beauty blender, especially for under the eyes. And make sure your beauty blender is damp, and then just blend away. And this is why blending is so important, because as you're applying things to your skin, you want to make sure that there isn't a difference, like it all looks uniform. So blending is key. And there you go. Nice. And so once you're done applying your powder, before you apply your blush or your highlighter or your bronzer or anything like that, I find that, especially if you're dry skin, that you should apply some sort of like Fix Plus on your skin before you put on anything else, because at this point you really look powdery and you want everything to look seamless. So usually I like to use the Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 Replenishing Primer and Setting Spray. Mine is finished. I'm really sad, and I'm just gonna go back to the basics, which is the Fix Plus by MAC, and this one is an oldie but goodie. But for some reason I prefer this one better than the Fix Plus, but you know, I'm gonna take what I can. And then I'm gonna add bronzer. So I usually add bronzer last, and the reason why I do that is because when you think about what bronzer is, it's a powder that is usually warm tone and that is made to give the appearance of sun-kissed skin. So in my opinion, if you put that under all of it, you kind of lose that sun-kissed look. I don't know if it makes sense. So usually when you're sun-kissed, it's over everything else, right? So that is how my brain functions. So I just apply my bronzer last. And also, when I apply my bronzer, I usually apply it with a very fluffy brush, be it the Morphe M527, that's super fluffy, and also fluffy, but not dense. You don't want to go with a dense brush. You want to go with something really fluffy, big. I prefer this one because it's a bit bigger. Go in. And the bronzer I'm going to be using is the Casino bronzer by NARS. And just go in like that. Tap off the excess and apply my bronzer in the shape of a 3, as per usual. And dust a little bit over my nose. So basically where the sun touches my face. So I'm going to go in. So do you see the difference between this side and this side? I look way more tanned and as if I've been in the sun for a bit. You see that? So this is the side. The bronzer, no bronzer. Tap off the excess and just go to church with it. And you see, that way I feel it looks way more natural, as if you've truly been, you know, in the sun. And then to finish, again, some setting spray. Okay, so I'm all done up, makeup looking flicky AF. As you can see, I'm looking pretty flawless. Honestly, like, even if the lights were not here, like I have like 2 soft boxes here. Like, this just photographs so well and it stays on all day. And I feel like even like when you're up close, you look like slightly photoshopped because everything just looks blended and flawless and like it's not gonna move as well. So I do hope you enjoyed this video, and honestly, like, these little tips and tricks are not that complicated. I don't think you need to buy anything more to achieve this. Most probably, if you're really a makeup enthusiast, you have most of these things already. And just these little things make a huge difference. So if you do try them out, or if you have other tips and tricks you think will benefit everybody else, please leave a comment below. And don't forget to, you know, connect with me on my socials. I'll leave my socials here again. And until next time, bye!